And welcome back to the channel. Time for another rant. Haven't had a rant for a few videos, so I thought I'd better spice it up a bit and tell you what's been happening in the world of drones and model aircraft and idiots who are out there. First of all, I noticed that the UK has decided, well, we've got to increase the exclusion zone around airports. And I've got to say, that's sensible. Gee, I don't know why. How did they come up with 1,000 metres, 1 kilometre from an international airport? It's lunacy. It's lunacy. 1,000 metres out, aircraft are way too low to have drones in the way. So good on the UK for finally wising up to the fact that virtually every other country has at least 4 or 5 kilometres around large airports. I mean, it's not the problem with the droners, it's a problem with the regulators when you have that sort of thing going on. So yes, you are going to be faced with flying probably 4 or 5 kilometres from a major airport. Now, I only hope that the CAA in the UK don't make the same mistake that the New Zealand CAA has made and treat all airports as equal. Here in New Zealand, it doesn't matter whether it's a tiny little rural airstrip which is used once in a year or whether it's Auckland International Airport, there's still a 4 kilometre exclusion zone. Makes no sense. And helipads in New Zealand have a 4K exclusion zone, even though helicopters don't come in at such a shallow angle that they're going to be 400 feet above the ground, 4 kilometres away from the landing point. No, it doesn't happen. So to keep things risk-based, which is the only way to produce fair regulation, you've got to make allowances for different types of airfields. In Australia, they have different regulations for controlled airports versus uncontrolled airports, which generally means big ones versus small ones. That's what the UK has to do as well. I'm just afraid that they've got this bee in their bonnet now. Oh, short of banning drones, they'll do anything that they can. And I see they're looking to give police more powers to deal with drones, especially those drones at Gatwick, which most of us really appreciate now, just simply didn't exist. So because drones didn't menace Gatwick Airport, they're going to clamp down on drones. That's the kind of logic that a politician, only a politician can come up with that. Now, here in New Zealand, now remember I did the video on the Eagle police helicopter operations and how they saw a drone and ran away and hid in a cupboard somewhere? Well, that's gone on a bit more. There's been a bit more stuff. Another helicopter, an AS355 I think it was filming the fireworks over Auckland Harbour here in New Zealand. And which means they're flying over an urban area built up, houses, buildings, cars, open spaces, public gatherings, flying this big turbine helicopter over all these people to get footage of fireworks going off. Now, they complained that they saw 3 drones when they were flying, dangerous. One came within, they came within 30 metres of the helicopter, super dangerous. The helicopter pilot, I think Mr. Tony Monk, who I don't know, said it was very dangerous and something has to be done. These drones flying too close to his helicopter. Now, I think this shows we need a complete change of paradigm here. Things have changed. We've gone past a certain point. And that point is, why the hell were they endangering the lives of the public by flying a helicopter over an urban area with people, buildings, cars, and gatherings and open spaces? Why were they flying a helicopter over that kind of area just to get photos of a fireworks display, just to get video of a fireworks display? As we all know, helicopters are pretty dangerous things. And as I said, the Director General of Civil Aviation or whatever made a comment that it's the most dangerous profession in New Zealand as being a commercial helicopter pilot. So there's a lot of risk associated with flying helicopters commercially. And why would you do that over the top of people if there was another alternative? And there is another alternative. Why weren't TV New Zealand using a drone? Why put people up in the air, risk their lives in a situation like that when you could have them safely on the ground and have a drone? Now, if a helicopter falls out of the sky onto people, they die. In Brazil, one fell onto a sidewalk, killed a pedestrian, and that was just a week or so ago. And a few years back, a police helicopter crashed onto a pub roof and killed, I think it was 12 people inside the pub. Now, if that had been drones that fell out of the sky, would anyone have died? No. No, they wouldn't have. Now, sometimes you've got to use a helicopter. If you want to ferry people or whatever from place to place, you've got to use a helicopter. But if you're just taking aerial video, you don't need to use a helicopter. Modern drone cameras are so good. In fact, you can haul a red camera up on a drone if you want to, but the modern UHD 4K cameras on even consumer-grade drones are so good that they're going to be 99% as good as the footage you get from a great big expensive gimbal video camera on the front of a full-size manned helicopter. So I put it to our regulators, and this is CAA in New Zealand, it's the FAA in America, it's CASA in Australia, and it's CAA in the UK, Transport Canada, all those regulatory bodies charged with keeping people safe, that from this point forward, it's time that any operation that can be safe, can be properly performed using a drone, is done with a drone. And if people want to use a helicopter over a high-risk area like an urban area or a built-up area, suburban area, They have to have a very extremely good case to do so if a drone could do the job more safely. There's time to start re-evaluating risks. It's always going to be more risky to use a manned helicopter than to use a drone. So if it's something as simple as taking video footage or photos, helicopters and light aircraft or aircraft should be forbidden. They're too risky. They fall out of the sky too often. They have killed too many people already. Drones have killed nobody. So if the regulators really, really want to do things for safety reasons, get rid of the manned helicopters. Get rid of the manned aircraft flying over built-up areas. Put in drones. Use drones. Drones don't erode safety. They increase it when you use them properly. So I say any commercial operation that wants to do photography or video needs to mount a damn good case as to why they can't use a drone instead of a helicopter. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Put it in the comments. It's time we started pressuring the regulators to act for reasons of safety, not reasons of commercial expediency or because they're getting hammered by some powerful special interest group or idiot politicians. So put a comment. Tell me, am I right? Am I wrong on that? Now let's move our attention to Ireland. Ireland, the Greenland, yes, wonderful. Drone Girl comes from Ireland, and for some time now, if you've had a drone that weighs more than 1 kg in Ireland, you've had to register. You had to register so that they knew who you were. And the interesting thing is that anything under 1K, no, they don't care too much. You've got rules to follow, but you don't have to register. But that's changing. In order to align themselves with the EU and I think EASA, Ireland is reducing the threshold for registration down to 250 grams. Why? Of all the countries in the world, I think I've seen the least number of drone incidents in Ireland. And it's not because they don't have drones there. There's plenty of drones in Ireland. But it seems that they got the balance right. If you over 1 kg, you register. Under 1 kg, you're not that much of a problem. We don't hear of drones menacing Irish airports. In fact, and the interesting thing is that when Irish airline pilots see something they don't recognise, they call it a UFO. They're old school. They know what they're doing. They don't call it a drone. There was a report before Christmas. Some Irish pilots saw a UFO and reported it as a UFO, not a drone. How about that? Good on you, boys. Top of the morning to you. But of course, now Ireland's caving into pressure. Oh no, it's too dangerous. Even though their evidence proves that it's not too dangerous, they're going to cave in. And that's what's going to happen around the world. I fear that in New Zealand here, our politicians who don't have a clue between them most of the time are going to say, but everyone else is requiring drones to be registered. Yeah, we know it's never actually solved any incidents and it's never prevented anyone doing anything. But if everyone else is doing it, we should do it too, because we're too frightened to go out on our own and be leaders. We want to follow in the footsteps of others who have made stupid decisions. That's what's going to happen, I can guarantee it. But never mind, social justice warrior me. I will be out there never registering, going to jail if necessary. I will be inciting a public campaign of civil disobedience, not unsafe, but safety. Civil disobedience. You are not going to suddenly criminalise my hobby just because some dickhead, tiny percentage of the drone community decides to do something bad. No, you're not going to, I tell you. I will stand up for my rights. I'm highly principled. And I will go to jail and enjoy the lovely food, but I'll just be careful in the showers. There you go. And finally, what about that Gatwick thing? Well, we all know. How coincidental is it that just days after that incident, 51% of Gatwick Airport was sold to a French company? I would love a recording of whoever phoned in the drone, the drone sighting. I wonder if it was, "Excusez-moi, monsieur, I can see a drone over your airport. Thank you, goodbye." And the next day, a French company buys the airport at a knockdown discount price because, well, you had that big incident with the drones. You're not worth as much as you were last week. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I'm not making up that, but I'm speculating. It definitely did sell to a French company, but I don't know who rang in or who sent in the report. But there you go. And then someone else has suggested that perhaps this was a cover-up. I mean, a lot of people, look at the comments on that video I did. A lot of people saying it's a cover-up for something else. And I did hear through the grapevine. I can't ascribe a level of credibility to this, and I don't want to be disseminating fake news like the mainstream media does. So I'm just going to say, I was told, I have no evidence to back this up, that there was possibly a hacking attack on the systems at Gatwick, and they used the drone story as a cover-up to avoid having to pay out compensation to airlines because their systems were hacked. I don't know. That's just one of the theories that has been expounded by people, some of who are in a position to know. But there you go. Not fake news, just rumour. Anyway, so the airports are going to spend millions, and I mean millions of dollars on anti-drone technology. Really, what a great thing, isn't it? Millions of dollars on anti-drone technology, and you don't even have to prove that it works because there weren't any drones. But I mean, really, seriously, if you've got $1 million to spend, Let's look again. How many people have been killed by recreational drones? Let me see. Let me count. None. Okay, so we're going to spend, actually what amounts probably, once all the airports are together, tens of millions of dollars on anti-drone technology to counter a threat that's never killed anybody. Yet, how many people die on the roads? How many people die of medical misadventure? How many people die falling down stairs? How many people die of alcohol excess or the use of tobacco? But we're not going to spend any more money on those. Not the things that actually really kill people. We won't spend any more money on those. We'll spend money on something that has never killed anybody. No one knows how to calculate risk in the UK. Obviously, they've got no idea how risk works. No idea at all. And because there's always the potential. It's always possible. It's always possible that a drone could fly into an airliner and people could die. But it's actually more possible that a meteorite could pass overhead and the explosion could shatter windows and put hundreds of people in hospital. It's more possible. It's happened. Happened in Chelyabinsk in Russia. Happened in Russia. That's actually happened. So the risks of a meteor causing widespread injuries is proven to be greater than the risk of a drone hitting an airliner. Yet we don't build protective shelters over our cities, and we don't require that all window glass is laminated so it won't shatter to a million pieces and cut folk when a meteorite explodes in the sky. This is what I mean. We are chasing straw men. We are just being told things are risky, and we're all responding by going, oh, it must be. I saw it in the Daily Mail. No, not good enough. There you go. So I think that's all I had for the news this time. Oh, no, Coventry. Oh, God. To show you how this hysteria is spreading, I think it's Coventry City Council in the UK have decided they want to ban drones in the parks and reserves. Too dangerous. These drones are too dangerous. Look at the death toll. No, don't look at the death toll. That would actually be wrong because there isn't a death toll. But no, they want to ban drones in the city. And of course, modelers are outraged and drone flyers are outraged. There's been a huge kickback. But the council being a council, and we all know how councils work. Look at the battles I've had with councils who tend to be a collection of cloth heads who get paid to do nothing but make silly decisions. They want to ban drone flying. But it's not as easy. It shows you how really safety isn't the issue. Safety is not the issue because you won't be able to fly a drone in Coventry, right? Too dangerous, unless you pay £50. Then it's safe. How does that work? Yes, if you part with 50 quid, it'll be safe. I never knew that parting with money could change the risk profile of something, but apparently these councillors have some magic potion or spell that they can use, and it makes something that's unpaid as dangerous, paid as safe. That shows you just people, it's nothing to do with safety, people. It's all to do with money, special interests, and looking after, covering your ass, looking after yourself. Number one first. So sad. What a tragedy. There you go. That's it for this rant. All the points I've raised are worthy of discussion, so have a mention down below. And remember, this is a sort of becoming a semi-regular thing. I'll keep it up because a lot of people, I'm surprised, don't know some of the stuff that I'm telling you. And if you know other people who fly drones, then point them at the channel here. You don't have to watch everything. If you see stuff that's boring, ignore it. Just watch. If you just want to watch the rants, you can do that. So subscribe, get your mates to subscribe. The more people that come in here, then the more clout I can have. If I go to the media and say, look, I've got X subscribers, and I'm not just some Johnny-come-lately who bought a drone last week, you know, this is what I'm telling you. My voice will carry, hopefully, a little bit more weight than it would otherwise. So the more subscribers I get, the more I'm able to represent your point of view and protect your interests with the media, with government, with regulators, with the agencies that control the future of our hobby. So there you go. Sign up, get your mates to sign up, get your mother to sign up, get your dog to sign up. Oh, they don't type very well, dogs. Maybe not the dog. But there you go. There you go. Thanks for watching. As I say, comments, questions, anything in the place below provided by YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again probably fairly soon on this channel. Bye for now.